Hey everyone, this is me Astha again and I'm up with my new video. I am 21 today and I am 21 years old. I don't believe this myself, but I am. And I thought of making a video regarding the things that I learned till now. And I've reached this point where I have learned like a lot of things. So I thought of making a video about 21 lessons that I learned in my 21st birthday. So I've been meaning to make this video since a while now, but I didn't get the opportunity. The first thing that I would like to speak about is belief system. The major thing that I learned about is the belief system that we carry. I'm going to give you guys an example, and I think that's gonna sum up what I'm going to say. For instance, when you were a child and someone said you look fat, at an age when you are that vulnerable, what happens is that you start believing it. And we tend to carry that belief system forward in our lives. Like for example, when I was a kid, someone told me, people used to tell me I was fat. But when with age, my height increased and my fat decreased. So then I became like pretty much okay. But still I had that inside of me that, oh, I look fat. And because I was believing that thing, and that can actually cause a person to become anorexic or bulimic. And it all depends on the kind of belief system you have. So what I learned in past few years is that if a person said something to you, it had more to do with them and less to do with you. And I learned to make peace with my past. The person might be insecure, and if a person said it, then I think we should just forgive and forget at this point. And it's high time when we need to release those situations and those traumatic situations that might have happened with you, and we need to move forward. And so I learned to make peace with my past. And it all starts with the belief system you carry. Everything that I'm going to talk about, it's going to relate somehow or the other. It's going to relate to belief system you carry. So I learned to actually deconstruct my belief system, the old belief system, and carve new one for myself. So the first thing is belief system, and that brings me to another point, which is self-love. The more I stopped believing in the things people told me till now, and the more I started believing the things that I wanted to believe in. Like for example, I'm not worthy. First you have to question, like, why do you believe that? Did someone tell you? Did something happen? Why are you believing such kind of things? Another thing is to stop believing and carve a new belief system. Like, oh, I am worthy. Why? Because this. You need to give yourself reasons why. Other thing is self-love, and self-love is not easy thing to develop. And self-care and self-love, you will only take care of yourself when you start loving yourself. And when will you start loving yourself? When you stop believing in the things that you have been told and you start believing in yourself. So that is like pretty much about self-love. You have to question yourself a lot. And in a video, I don't remember which video, but there was some motivational speaker or someone, this woman told that self-love is a chore and you have to practice it daily. Take it as something as a like a chore. It's like some work, and you should practice it daily and start with that, and gradually it will develop self-love for yourself. Third thing that I learned about is effective communication, is about relationship. So third point is effective communication, and the thing is that the key to any relationship is I discovered is effective communication. Any kind of relationship, like with your parents, be it with your siblings, your cousins, anyone, with your friends. So the thing is that in last few years I got the opportunity to have one-to-one conversation with people who I loved, who I cared about, my family, my extended family, and with everyone. And I realized the more I talked to them, the more I gained respect for those people, and I got to know about them deeply in a very soul level. And the thing is that whenever anything happens, we tend to have disagreements or anything. The key to anything is effective communication, and I did experiment a lot in this regard, and actually I was successful a lot. I saw that relationship with many people got better the more I communicated clearly with them. And that's it. The fourth thing that I learned, stress management. and how to manage stress. I learned how to manage stress in our daily life. There are like so many things that might pile up and just might stress you a lot. Maybe some activity, maybe some event, maybe your situation, your career, anything can actually stress you up. And the thing is that we don't learn that in our schools, in our college. They don't teach us how to manage our stress. And this book I read about stress, and it was so good. Like, I would like to share some things that I read. I have read a lot of books related to stress, and I don't even remember what I've read. I've read tons of articles and stuff, but I don't remember any of them. But in short, the crux of all of them was like this one book that I read. I don't remember its name, but the thing that author mentioned how to tackle stress. There's like two ways. First is like short term, like whenever you're stressing and it's too much, there's a short term solution to it, and there's a long term solution. Now, like when you're having a panic attack or something, when you're stressing too much, then that's the time when we need to focus on breathing. We breathe, but we don't breathe in a proper way, the way we are supposed to breathe. So we are supposed to breathe in a very slow pace, and we take short breaths. So we have to inhale and then exhale. We have to wait for a few seconds and then exhale slowly, like very gradually. So that is the proper way of breathing, if I'm not wrong. Other thing is that you have to calm yourself down. So you need to recognize the triggers, and then you have to eliminate it, or if not eliminate, then you have to understand why you're getting triggered. The situation might differ for different people, I guess, or maybe it might be emanating from some health issues that you might be having. So you need to recognize that yourself, and then you might be able to better deal with your stress. Like, yeah, eliminate all the social media app, or take a break, or don't watch news if it's stressing you out, or things that might stress you. Just eliminate it for a while, and then you see that you're free of stress. And meditate. Do participate in events, in activities like activities like yoga and meditation. These are some of the most like effective ways how you can that will help you de-stress in your daily life. Like, believe me, like doing yoga and all, you have to focus on your breathing a lot, so it's quite effective. Fifth point is how to deal with my emotions. And I felt like my emotions were all over the place. So over last few years, I realized how to, like, whenever I was being too emotional or being too stressed out, I understood that they were they were emanating from some sort of, like, for example, hormonal issues and like deficiencies. So since I could detect the issue of the cause of the issue, I was able to tackle it. Like, for example, like due to deficiency or something, that I understood how to deal with them. And also, if you are feeling some kind of emotion, just let it be, leave it there. Like, acknowledge that you are feeling certain way, and it will actually eventually pass. I think sixth point is about intrusive thoughts. You need to recognize that you and your thoughts are two different. You are not your thoughts. And when you're having a thought, this you will only realize after you start meditating, that you're not your thoughts. And when there's a thought that this, just leave it there, let it sit for a while. It will go like herd. I don't know if you have heard or not, but in Buddhism we say that we have a monkey mind, and it's quite, in Hindi we say chanchal, so it's quite jumpy and stuff. So our thoughts will come and it will leave like within seconds. So we have to tame it, like not tame, but kind of like, if you want to control, you will only be able to control when you start meditating. And whenever you're having intrusive thoughts, you will like recognize that you're not your thoughts and leave it there. It will pass, like just like emotions. I think the 7th point might be busy. No matter what your problem is, if you're having intrusive thoughts or you're facing any kind of problem, at that point of time, being busy is one of the most effective solution that you can come up with. So another thing is deficiencies, which I've already mentioned, like deficiencies and emotions, both are correlated. I think 9th point is sleep. Sleep is very, 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 very important. And don't ignore your sleep, because the more you sleep, the more your brain neurons are going to develop. And if you're depressed, sleeping might be good, but too much of sleep is not good. Like 8 hours of sleep is like recommended, and your neurons are going to develop. And you are going to feel more energetic and more alive, more lively. Brings me to another point, which is fear. So last few years I realized that a lot of my actions were actually fear based actions. It's like everything is like trial and error. If you won't fail, don't, like for example, fear of failing. People have fear of failing, fear of rejection, fear of all sorts of fears people have. Even I did, even I might still do. And the thing is that we shouldn't have fear inside of us. We need to conquer our fears first of all, then only we might be able to achieve something. Because if we are afraid of something, it's going to hold us back. So never let your fear dictate you. That is something that I learned, because I was scared of failure, I guess. And actually therapist told me that don't be scared, just start. You just have to start. That brings me to 11th point, which is boundaries. It's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to let go of the relationships, friendships, like any kind of relationships that is not serving you. Like for example, a lot of my friendship I realized were like one-sided. Just one person is putting effort and the other person is just sitting like kind of like enjoying, I don't know. But I realized that developing boundaries is something which is necessary, because if you're not going to develop boundaries, if you'll just let someone walk all over you, then it's just, I don't think that you might be able to hold yourself in high regard and develop that self-love, self-esteem. Like for example, if someone is violating your boundary, just learn to say no. I had a lot of difficulty saying no before, but then people used to tell me that no, you have to say no. People are violating your boundaries and you have to say no. So I learned to say no eventually. So I think twist is that nature is therapy. And one thing that I love doing is like spending a little bit of time in nature out there. To find peace, go back to the basic. Like nature is the best therapy. Go out for a walk or something, just observe nature. It's the best therapy. It's healing. Nature is healing. So the 13th point is workout. I downloaded this app, just had bought something and I started with that, and then I gradually increased and I started doing cardio and then HIIT and then Pilates and yoga, and I incorporated all those workout in my routine. And actually I have to say now it has been like 5 years since I've been working out, and and bit by bit I saw changes in my body and I felt more fit. Anything happened like related to my health, whenever COVID happened, I saw that workout actually helped me heal a lot. It gave me a purpose for some reason, and working out was really nice. And if you are someone who has to face a lot of stress, and I think working out, doing yoga and stuff might help you. Let's come to 14th point, I guess, which is about insecurities. So I have already mentioned the most important point is belief system, and we all have some insecurities in us. Either it be our face, maybe our eyebrow, maybe my eyes, maybe my nose, my lips, my body, my hands, my feet, something or the other we all are insecure about. So it's okay to be insecure, and the thing is that your insecurities are not going to disappear overnight. So keep that in mind. Another thing is that we are all embarrassed about something or the other. Either it be some past situation, past action, past event. You might have done something, or you might be insecure, you might be embarrassed. So there's no point of being embarrassed, because people are all busy dealing with their own issues. No one has time to notice those flaws in you, any insecurity that you're having. So it's just in our head that we keep telling us that this is this. So as soon as you change the way you think, that is the belief system, that the first point that I mentioned about your insecurities disappear. So that is the thing. You need to stop believing in what others told you, and you need to start believing what you say yourself. Well, even if someone makes you feel bad about something, some feature, some maybe fat shame you, or say you that you're too slim or something, then it's just their insecurity. They're imposing it on you. And even if they mention something, then today they will say and tomorrow they're going to forget. So no one is going to remember. So don't worry, relax. The 15th thing that I learned about in last few years is negative thinking. Again, so the one negative thought it takes, and then there's a series of thoughts, negative thinking. And so I realized, like, I learned how to not think in a negative manner. The solution was practicing gratitude. Focus on what you have rather than focusing on what you don't have. So right now, what are the things that you can control? You have to see that this is something that I can control, this is something that I have no control over. So just let it go and just try and control the things that you can control, and practice gratitude, and these things will actually disappear by itself. All the negative thinking and any situation, any stressful situation that you're going through, it will actually go away by itself. And 16th point is that don't compare your journey with anyone else comparison, I guess. And yes, everyone's journey is quite different. Another thing is that 17th point is listening. Listening might be something which might create a huge impact when someone is having trouble. Being there and listening to them might be like sharing their burden. So listen to people and be kind to them. And yes, that's a great thing that you can do when someone is suffering. And 18th point is respect your body. Yes, good food is required for healthy functioning of the body. So put good food, invest in your body, respect your body. If it's functioning in a healthy way, then respect it. Don't disrespect it. 19th point is anxiety, how to deal with anxiety. I have made a video about it. You can watch it. I'll share it in the description box below. And my 20th point, which is, ego. So we all have ID, ego and superego, three things. ID is your innate need. Like for example, in a child is hungry, the child will cry with no ego. But when you grow up, you sort of have ego. Now I'm going to earn and then I'm going to eat. So that is your ego. And the thing is that I learned that when to put my ego aside and when to put it forward. That brings me to my last point, but not the least. Drum rolls, please.
Drum roll!
The last point is about seeking help. If you are facing any kind of problem, then seek help. Don't associate any kind of shame related to it. Have patience with yourself. Nothing happens overnight. It takes time. Everything happens gradually. So it's time taking. So give yourself a little bit time, more time. And yes,